Alright guys, so if you're new, just real quick, my name is Misty, this is Justin, and this is the story time video that we were telling you guys about yesterday. If you watched yesterday's vlog, the end of it.
Basically, me and Misty and her brother went to a...
This was, oh god, back in 2011 or 12?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, we had never been gambling before, and her brother thought it was a good idea to go to this game room.
Yeah, an illegal game room.
So...
Because in Texas you cannot gamble there.
Yeah, it's illegal other than the lottery.
Yeah, you have like lottery tickets and like Powerball, stuff like that, but there's no game rooms, there's no casinos, it's all illegal.
Right. So anyways, after being going there for a while, months, we kept going. I guess we got addicted to gambling a little bit, kind of. So anyways, I mean, we didn't ever do anything crazy like better freaking more
bill money
we
weren't like that addicted. It was just fun to go.
And there's nothing to do here in this town.
Yeah, I was gonna say we live in a small town. There's nothing to do. But anyways, the girl that worked there, she was around our age, and we all kind of started becoming friends with her. So she was telling me one time, like, hey, we're actually looking for somebody to work in the mornings, like to afternoon. You should talk to the boss. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. I'll work with somebody that I just became friends with. We could use the extra money. Like, I could use a job, so why not? So basically just gave me the job.
And we knew the guys that like owned, I guess, kind of the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, she got a job there, and everything went good for a little while.
Yeah. It was kind of cool working with friends and like people around my age, because like everybody got along. We all kind of just hung out, and it was like a fun kind of environment.
We were kind of a lot younger and naive back then too. We weren't thinking about safety or anything like that back then.
Yeah, I was like, what, 21?
Yeah.
If that, yeah, something like that. So anyways, everything was good for the first little while, and then some crazy stuff started happening. So of course, with illegal gambling and stuff, you're gonna have people in there probably like doing drugs or bringing in like criminals, I don't know, just stuff like that. So
it just attracts that stuff, especially because it's an illegal place anyways. Yeah.
So I don't know, what story should we start with first?
Probably the bathroom story. Okay.
So one time I work, like I said, the early morning to afternoon shift. Most people gamble at night just because they think their odds are better because there's more people there, whatever. Anyway, so I think it was like early afternoon because I was the only one there still, and usually the owner and them come downstairs because they actually had living area upstairs where they stayed, and the owner would usually come down after like noon. These people came in, a lady and a guy, and you have to take their ID and get all their information and set them up an account, basically is how it worked. Well, the lady didn't have a driver's license. She had actually just got out of prison, and she had like a prison ID card, I guess. And I was kind of scared, I was there by myself. I was young, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take this and let it work, because I don't want this lady to flip out on me because I won't let her play, or something like that. So I was like, it has a picture of her on it. I can tell it's her. It has her name and her birthday and stuff like that on it. So I was like, this will work. So anyways, I get their information and set up their accounts, and they go play for maybe like a minute or two. Like, it's not very long. They play I think they both put like $10 on, so it didn't last very long. Anyway, she comes up and she's like, do you guys have a bathroom? And I'm like, yeah, it's right around the corner. It was kind of hidden from the main area. Like, I couldn't see it from where I worked, like from behind the counter, unless I left behind the counter and like looked past a doorway. I don't know, kind of hard to explain. But anyways, she, I showed her where the restroom was, and she went back there, and then probably like 20 seconds later, I can see her on the camera, because we had cameras everywhere, not in the bathroom, but like by the bathroom. And I could see her like motioning for the dude to come over. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird, awkward, I don't know. And he goes back there, and like a minute later, I hear like a loud boom, like something fell, or I don't know, like I just hear a noise. And they both leave the bathroom at the same time, and they just leave. They leave their machines on, they leave their money on their machine. And so I'm like, what the fuck was that? So I go check the bathroom, and the freaking sink is in the floor. Like, it fell over into the floor. And so I'm freaking out, and I call the girl that I worked with. I called her first because I thought my boss would still be asleep, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, what the hell? So I called the girl that I worked with, because she was kind of like my manager. She was higher up than me. And I explained to her what happened, and she was like, oh my gosh. She was like, tell the boss at the time. So I told him, and he was just kind of laughing about it. And he was like, "What the hell?" He was like, "What kind of people are you bringing in here?" You know, like joking around with me and stuff. So luckily he wasn't mad at me for it. He knew, he's used to that kind of crap, like crackheads coming in and stuff like that. So anyway,
they were in there trying to have sex on the counter.
They were having sex on the sink.
On the table.
And yeah, so that was disgusting.
Right.
And then Justin kind of has a story of when he was in there and something went down. So I'll let him kind of tell that part.
So, like, it was me, Misty, and then her brother. We were all in there playing. The
But it was kind of late at night. We used to go in pretty late.
Yeah, there was a ton of people. It was probably like a Friday or Saturday night. Those are usually like really busy nights. And there was a ton of people in there. Well, there was this one guy in there that we kind of knew already a little bit through like other people that we know. And so anyways, like, and I didn't even know this was him until afterwards. But and it's like super dark in there.
Yeah, all the lights are off. They have kind of like disco type of lights just to make it kind of like a pop-in environment, if you will. But
so we're sitting at this place, and then all of a sudden you start hearing like this really loud commotion go on, and then like all these people are like looking over at the like where the front of the place is. So like I start seeing these two guys like beating the crap out of each other. Yeah. And so I like scream. I'm like, hey, like. And
yeah. Like, it scared me because we're just sitting there playing the game, and all of a sudden, like, he's right beside me, and I just hear, hey, like this scream, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And like everybody's just sitting there watching them beat the shit out of each other. So I'm like, well, if nobody else is gonna do something, I will do something. Yeah. So I went, and I like, by the time that I got up there, the one guy was on top of the other guy, and he was just beating his face in. And I was like, I don't want to see anybody die, so I'm like, grab that guy off of the other guy. Yeah. And so I'm like holding him like by his arms. He's a really short little guy. Yeah. And one of the guys that works there, that it's like his family's business or whatever, he comes up and he just punches the guy right in his face. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, I didn't like hold him away so that you could beat his ass, So anyways, it ended up being two brothers, and they were fighting, and like I didn't realize it was that one guy until we calmed him down, and then that he made them both get out. So then a little bit later we found out that they were actually fighting over a heroin needle. Yeah. Like there was a syringe full of heroin.
What they said happened, I believe, was that the older brother, the bigger one, the one that started the fight or whatever, was trying to get the younger brother to go sell that heroin inside the game room. And he said no, or he couldn't get the person to buy it or whatever, so he got pissed off and they got into a fight over it. I believe that's what happened. It was and like then some crazy after they broke up the fight and kicked him out, they found the heroin needle on the floor. Justin did. So yeah, it was some pretty crazy experiences working in a place like that. Like, and at the time, like we said, we were young. Yeah. We had just gotten into gambling. We didn't really, we knew it was illegal, but we didn't really know fully we didn't understand really what was going on or like what it was all about. So,
like 90% of the people that go in those places are like bad
on
people,
drugs, like, or have committed crimes, or
some kind of criminal activity is going on in that place.
Yeah. And there's still places like that here, unfortunately. Like
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, actually. A lot of them.
It's a bunch of organized crime, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Because it does bring in money, but
I feel guilty. Like I feel really stupid for letting Misty work at a place like that. I should have never done that. Yeah, I should have never let her do that. But
at the same time, like we said, we were young. We didn't really know what was going on, like what the business was about and stuff like that. We just we met those people that were like our age, that worked there, and they seemed really cool, and so we were like, this is kind of cool, but we didn't know. We were kind of stupid at the time. But
another funny thing,
I didn't work there very long because stuff like that kept happening, and I was like, no, I'm not working.
Well, like we were like, we got to get you out of that. So, but it's funny because like the two guys that were actually working there, we used to think that they were family members, but they ended up being lovers.
That's what we heard. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, we don't know.
But yeah, they used to say they were cousins. But it's kind of funny that this story's going all over the place, but maybe you're entertained. It's kind of funny that he says that though, because I remember one time these two dudes came in and they were trying to like intimidate me. That's the word I was looking for. And they were like, I'm going to say my boss's name was Fred because I don't want to say his real name, but they were like, where's Fred? We need to talk to him. And they were like trying to like punk me. This is what it felt like. Like they were being really like aggressive. And I was like I didn't know what to say because I didn't want to throw him under the bus or whatever. And the guy that was his cousin, supposedly, Fred, the boss's cousin, was in there with me. And he was like, he's upstairs. You can just go up there and talk to him. And I was like, who were those people? And he was like, I don't know. Later on, I asked Fred, my boss, who they were, and he said they were his cousins. So how does cousin not know the other cousins?
Right.
So maybe they were lovers, and he didn't know who they were because he's not family.
They just used the cousin thing for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Excuses for things. But anyway, this video is getting super long and all over the place. We just thought we'd share kind of a crazy story time with you guys. So, yeah. Anything else to say about it?
No, I don't think so.
I think we pretty much got everything covered. But yeah, I'll never work in a place like that again because it's pretty sketchy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, especially if you stuck all the way to the end. If you want to hear more crazy story times like this, then let us know. Leave us a comment or give this video a thumbs up so we know you liked it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.